I decided I'm going to talk about it instead because it looks really bad right now, but it's not. What I've done so far, I've done front wheel bearing, both sides, and they're weird. They're massive, gigantic. I don't know. They're just weird. They're just very weird bearings. The front wheel bearings, both sides. Calipers, completely rebuilt the calipers and did brakes. You can see the clips and everything. All those clips are new. Everything's new. I cleaned the forks because there was fork tube. If you look here, you can see these lines. That's from brake clean. I replaced the fork seals. These fork seals in here. I fixed the leak that was here. I'm going to replace this line eventually. I haven't done it yet. It's actually a hydraulic line, and I want to use a hydraulic line to replace it. I mean, it's a low pressure line, but I want to use a hydraulic line to replace it. I forget what it's called, actually, but special. I straightened this thing's just flopping because I took it off to get the fairing off. This was moved over a 1/2 inch. I moved that over, so now it's dead smack in the center of the bike. It is. Like I said, I did the brakes. Oh my god, there's a bolt in that front tire right there. Oh my god. That was weird. So when I did that, the brake pads that I put on it, the pin and the brake pads that I put on were not Brembo. They were some Nietzsche or something like that, some rip-off. So anyways, they didn't fit. I had to take them off, and I'd use a die grinder and grind out that thing. But every time I had to buy one of these tools, I now have these tools. So I've done the valves on this side and the other side. That's why the covers look new, because I spray painted them after I was done. I replaced the spark plugs, which are inside here. I replaced these 4 valve covers. I'm going to paint them. So these are known as an oil head, and these are all of these say 4 valve right here, but some of them, they used to come from the factory. These would be white. They would say 4 valve in white. So what I'm going to do with my Dremel that I just got is I'm going to grind that down. I'm going to ask my friend that has a 3D printer to make one that says oil head instead. It's going to be raised with the same type font, and then I'm going to paint that white. Just something to talk about when I go to like different motorcycle events and stuff like that. It'll be pretty cool. I've removed these throttle bodies completely. That's why there's an O-ring that's pinched right here, because it was oversized. But I removed both of the throttle bodies. They're not carburetors because it's fuel injected. I cleaned the fuel lines that go over. There was actually sludge in them, believe it or not. I cleaned the injectors themselves. I took them apart all the way down to the needle and pintle. I learned how to do that in automotive school. So I took those completely apart and cleaned them all the way right down there. So they're like brand new. And they work. The bike's ran since then. I have a squirrel every day that I feed. I think I've sent you a picture. Got it. And he comes and hangs out literally while I'm working on this thing, and he'll eat seeds right in there. It's pretty cool. I got some pictures of him on this wall over here too. See all the seeds? Anyways, there's the front tire I took off. Done an oil change on it. I cleaned the entire throttle body, so inside and out. I used special throttle body cleaner that gets like up the sludge out. And then I used a dial indicator to actually check to see if there was any more sludge inside of the bore of the throttle body. What a bore. Anyways, I did rear brakes. I didn't need to. I wish I hadn't. What else? I think I mentioned the oil pressure sending unit up here. There's an oil pressure sending unit right up in here. And that is leaking, so I have that. Actually, I haven't replaced that one yet. The battery, it's brand new. And then, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I feel like I did because I started typing this out. If I did, sorry about this, but that alternator right there, I took it completely apart. I cleaned what's called the diode trio, which is actually how alternators used to work. And so I cleaned those out and I tested them to make sure that it was working properly with a multimeter that I bought. And it wasn't putting out what it could. So before I took it apart, of course. So what I did was, when I took that stator, you can tell the stator, the little winding in there, if you can see it, it's like shiny copper. I took it all apart and I cleaned that copper, like the windings and stuff. I sprayed them with brake clean and then resprayed them to insulate them, and clean the slip rings that are in there with a scrubby pad. Anyways, I basically rebuilt the alternator, and it's putting out what it's supposed to, actually more than what it's supposed to from the factory right now. When I did this tire, I jacked up, dude. This dot is supposed to be lined up with that valve stem, just like it is back here. It works. It's all right on the back one, but man, I messed up. Oh well. What else? Oh, geez, I didn't even talk about this. So I'm going to fix this, but I need a welder. I tried JB Weld. That sucks. I got these guards for the bike because I'm going to be testing slow speed maneuvers, and I've dropped it once. So I want to protect the frame. So not only did I do this back part, but inside of this case right here is the differential gear, a huge gear. You'll see the caliper's not even on it right now because the tire is actually loose. I haven't put it back together yet. There's a huge gear that's inside here that goes off the drive shaft. So just like a car, it's a differential. I took that completely apart and have pictures, completely apart, and that's what that bearing was attached to. Both of those, the tapered bearing. Oh, there's the front tire bearing right there. Look at the size of this thing. Like, how could that go on a motorcycle, man? So, anyways, somebody's eating chips out here. Anyways, that's it. That's all of it. I have this on because my next goal, after I get it all back together and it rides and drives and everything's perfect. Look at the rays from that sunset. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I love it here. This bolt comes out, this bolt loosens, some others on the other side. You take a ratchet strap, you put it here, you put it up there, you ratchet strap, and it pulls the entire back end of the bike up so you can get in and take out these bolts right here, which then you can separate the transmission and get to the clutch. I have a clutch for it, and that definitely needs to be done for sure. Every one of these bikes actually needs a clutch. Every last one of them. So, oh, and I took this apart too. This was pouring oil out of it. The guy couldn't figure out where the oil was all coming from, but but I took this all apart. There was pipe dope on this fitting. This fitting is not supposed to be pipe dope. It's called a JIC fitting. It's a pressure fitting, and pipe dope makes them leak. So I took them all apart and I cleaned it up, and then I put anti-seize on that daringly and put it all back together. It works. It was perfect, as a matter of fact. It does not leak one bit. Oh, I guess that's it, really. I feel like I've done more. I think I have. Oh, the lights. So I'm going to put the lights are going to go underneath here. And it's going to shoot that BMW logo is going to be right here. So it's going to blink, flash, flash, flash. Sorry, flash, flash, flash right here. So it'll be there. Think about it. From right here to right here. Flash, flash. It's going to be sweet. And then up here, underneath this fairing right here, they're going to flash, flash, flash. They're going to flash down off this fairing. So they're going to be going, it's going to be flashing two BMW logos, huge circles, the same size as the tires probably, equally, on the ground, on whichever way I'm going to be turning. And if I use my hazards, or if I push both of my, BMWs are weird, if I push both of my turn signals, which are actually up under here, see that's this turn, check that out, dude. This is the turn signal on this side. This is the turn signal cancel, you push up. And then there's a turn signal on this side. So if you want to turn that way, you push that one. And if you want to turn this way, you push that one. And the cancel is over here, is the one I just showed. Or you can press both of them at the same time, and then all of them will flash for 2 times, and they'll turn off. It's so stupid, but it's cool. That's the ABS system right there. Half the bike is an ABS system, and it works exquisitely. I can't even tell you how that works. It works so good, man. It saved me twice now already. So yeah, really, really cool. Really cool stuff. Once I get it back together. then I'll send you more stuff. But the reason I'm doing this is because the reason it's stripped down like this, because I want to do the panels are all faded. So I actually have polishing pads and rubbing compound and certain chemicals and stuff like that that are going to strip the paint, and then I'm going to respray them clear if they get cherry like they're supposed to be. See, like under here, it's extremely red and it's actually shiny because it's, you know, out of the weather or whatever, see? But up here, it's like dull, you know? So, dull. All right, man. Kind of wish you were here to see this person. Maybe I'll drive it to Utah next year or something. Anyways, that's actually the reason I'm doing all this, is because I'm, you know, going to do all that riding for all the waterfalls in Maine. So, okay. See ya.